Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Hope you're having a great weekend. Today we're gonna look at the contents of this box. It's my first time ever trying out Dungeons and Dragons. And yeah, today I am trying out an elf costume. Well, I've already pre-recorded exactly what my first experience was, and we'll start with that. Then I'll go into presentation. And then we'll look at the Dungeons and Dragons movie, as well as some clips from Baldur's Gate 3. So it's gonna be a fun day, and hopefully you guys are either watching live or on replay and having a good time. Maybe you've played a lot before, or maybe it's your first time like me. Either way, I hope I can entertain you, but also if you have anything that I can learn more about, let me know in the comments. Cheers. Alright, without further ado, let's get into the actual video. So this is my first experience, and here we are. You know what, I don't need these pre-made character sheets, so where's the board game? It's just an empty end of the box here. What are the dice for? This is really getting complicated this morning. Is this a D4? It's a triangle. Oh. I'm physically tired. Here's what it looks like with my hair back. Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Today we're gonna play our very first session of Dungeons and Dragons. My friend in my Discord channel recommended me this one in particular. I've got a pen, and I think that's all I need for now. I've also got a brew because this might take a while, so cheers! Let's play a cozy board game together. Okay, so this matches my outfit today. I'm kind of excited about that. Without further ado, I'm just gonna open it. Yeah, I got this off Vinted, so it's been used. But they've kept it in really good condition. And so here's the 6 dice. These are really simple. These are so simple, they're almost embarrassing. Like, I probably should have gotten myself some custom dice, but at the same time, I didn't want to go overboard because I've literally never played before. So, these 3, so this one's like a diamond, this one's like, I don't know. And then this one's a dodecahedron. And then this one's a triangle. And we got a square and a quadricahedron. I actually don't know. It's a 9 quintillion. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna put these here for now. And then all you get is these. So this is literally all you get, because yeah, when I first opened this to make sure the contents were alright, I was like, oh god. I took out the handbooks. And I was like, where's the board game? It's just an empty end of the box here. I really was expecting some sort of like, I don't know, something I can put on the table. You know what I mean? But okay, I guess we'll just deal with these. I did hear that you can play alone. So here we are. I'm gonna try to play alone and see how that goes for me. Alright, so before we go any further, yeah, the first chaotic experience was like, I was actually expecting like a Monopoly board or like the Game of Life or Clue, so I was a bit taken aback because I've seen all those videos of like people playing D&D with the like entire, I don't know, they've almost like made their own board game. So that's kind of what I was expecting, like a starter kit version of that, but no. So before we get into like more of the contents inside the box, I did want to present about some of the learnings that I've found, because as you guys know, I am writing a fantasy series. I'm actually halfway through chapter wise, and I thought it'd be really interesting to learn more about RPGs. So to say maybe I'd include it some form of it in my novel series, because I definitely want it to develop into some sort of like, I don't know, a game or movie in the future. So I have sorted a presentation. Now, I do want to run through it with me included, so I might just bring over my video. Okay, so before we get into this, I do want to say that I may have made errors, and I also kind of am just going through very much surface level stuff. So as long as we got that out of the way, then we can definitely continue. So here is some notes that I've found. And I'll just play it, and then we can chat as we're going through. So customer customization, character customization is what really appealed to me about this game, obviously. And the main thing that I found interesting is species. And I feel like this is the most exciting part of building your character, obviously. Now I am going to quickly hide myself so that you guys can see the full picture now. Okay, so the first that came out, obviously in 1974, was these species. So human, dwarf, halfling, and elf, and these were in the original kit. And obviously I'm an elf today, so I'm playing this character because of the ears. But also, it's okay. Obviously, the writers of Dungeons and Dragons were inspired by Lord of the Rings, and obviously that's where they probably got a lot of these species from. Because in Lord of the Rings, you do have humans, you do have dwarfs, and yeah, you have like Frodo and Sam are technically halflings, and then obviously the elves. So we got the whole batch of Lord of the Rings here. Hi Lynn, thanks for joining us in the chat. I appreciate that. Okay, so I also put all these through Midjourney, so technically it's like me creating characters because I just was prompting the AI to, you know, give me an idea what they would look like. I even got some to like have movement, which is pretty cool. So any of them that move are the ones that I would choose, like I would prefer, or that if I was in a game, that's probably what I'd go to. There's gonna be a lot of ones that moves because I'm like really indecisive, and I would probably play a lot of characters like a lot of you. And I think that's the whole point of these games. But yeah, after the 1974, we get 1978, and that's when they introduce half orc, gnome, and half elf. And then 1981 and 86, you get the, I don't even know how to pronounce these. And also this might be not correct, but Dwergar and Sverdvnablin. Yeah, I have no idea. These are really interesting. So Drow is like a class of elf that's kind of like a dark elf. I don't know if they get their powers from the underground, but they don't. I heard that they don't need to sleep or something, and then also that they have like night vision. So they also like worship some sort of half spider elf drow queen. I don't know. I guess they got that from Lord of the Rings too, because if you recall, like the spider character is like really infamous. But yeah, I think I would choose a drow as my, like, I don't know, main character. I do find it a bit more interesting than just an elf. But obviously it's really difficult to cosplay. And I think they always wear, like, white hair. I'm not entirely sure about that. But I do love how Midjourney makes them, like, come to life. It's so cool. Lynn says you enjoy my streams, and I've been following you since I got. Oh, thanks. I really appreciate it. I've obviously had to pivot a lot on my channel, so like a lot of my original following must be so confused with what I'm up to now, but honestly, like, the book that I'm writing, it's my way of like telling the truth through fantasy and fiction, because that's something that will not get censored. And I think, like, growing up, since I went to film school, it's always been a dream of mine to make like a movie, like The Matrix, for example. It's a movie and it woke so many people up, and I think cinema is the place where you can wake people up, obviously. So anyway, 2008 we get a major upgrade because tieflings are involved, and you'll recognize the tiefling from the movie, but it took me, I'll talk about it later, because it took me a while to even clock that, because they weren't like red skinned or anything. I don't know if they need to be looking like demons or not. I don't know if that's like a standard thing, but anyway, I just like depicted them that way. I probably would choose them as well, but I'm not sure about the horns. Dragonborn is giving like reptilian, like Illuminati overlords. I'm not really entirely sure like what the thought process was behind Dragonborn, and or what kind of person would choose to play these characters. I feel like you'd have to like really love comedy to be into the Dragonborn species, because it's just kind of funny. And then I don't know if I'm making this up either. Okay, like, whenever I research this, there's, like, so many classes and subclasses, and, like, sometimes they'll throw in subclasses. Anyway, so I think this is just elf and a subclass of elf. Again, like the drow. I'm not entirely sure. They look a bit more, like, regal and, yeah, like, noble, aristocratic, if that makes sense. I do like the armor that it gave these characters, though. Really blings out there. Oh my god, I was always not sure of like elf ears my entire like growing up, like as a teenager thing, but like Halloween wise and stuff. But now that I've tried it, I actually really love it. I think it's so fun, and I would wear them all the time if I could. I don't know, it's like, it's giving Grimes, that's all I'm just gonna say, and I'm about that. So okay, the next thing is class, and obviously it's like, so once you've decided your species, you can then ahead and customize with your class, and these are the 3 starter kits of back in 1974. So the original fighter, cleric, and wizard. And obviously you'll find this in Lord of the Rings too, like a lot of the human are fighters, and then obviously like Gandalf, wizard. Cleric, now I don't know too much about the cleric. I think they're healers, and I don't really like remember many healers in Lord of the Rings except for like Tom Bombadil, who's like a nature spirit. But yeah, maybe. No, I don't really know. Cleric. Anyway, so yeah, that one I kind of struggled with, but yeah, that's what I think they are, is fighter, healer, and like magical. I think they were also called magic user back in the day. Like they switched some of the names around for the modern era, obviously. And I think I would try all of them once. That's why I put movement to all of them. But the wizard's pretty sick. I mean, I love like electricity, lightning bolts coming out. It's so cool. Okay, so 1975 and mostly like in the 1970s. Rogue confused me. When I first heard it, I'm like, what does that even mean? Because I'm like thinking of Rogue X-Men and I don't know. But no. Okay, so it used to be thief. So like thief, then became rogue, I guess, to like be more politically safe. But yeah, that's why he kind of looks like Robin Hood. And then a paladin is a different class of fighter per se. A monk, who I'm assuming is like someone who meditates I don't know. Assassin is obviously what it would say, obviously. I don't know if like their whole purpose in the game is just to like kill other players, like even their own friends. I don't really know like what the purpose of an assassin is. And then druid, I kind of thought about like maybe that's my favorite class, but then I don't know, I don't really, so they transfigurate and they show this a lot in the movie. And I'm not really sure if I'm like down with transfiguration, meaning like you can change into animals and things like that. Like, I don't know if that's like my favorite vibe. But yeah, these are all the newer characters. I have like what I've created at the very end, so I'll show you 3 of my final or like top 3, what do you call it? Top 3 classes that I would choose towards the end. Illusion, so this is the 1980s now, so we're going with Illusionist, Bard, Ranger, who is like a hunter, and then Scion. Now, I don't really know like the difference between Scion, Illusionist, Wizard, and there's like Warlock and stuff. I don't know, they all seem like magic users, and there is kind of like a further category of magic. I know like someone was explaining it, my friend in my server, and it just depends how they got their magic. Like, I think it's warlocks that sell their soul to the devil to get their magic. Sorcerers have their magic innately, and others learn it. So I don't exactly know about Scion and Illusionist, but yeah, I'm assuming they play magic and use spells. You'll recognize the Bard from the movie, but it took me, again, watching the movie 2 times to even clock it. Like, the first time I watched the movie, I didn't even pick up on anything whatsoever. So the second time I was like, okay, that, yeah. You'll like pick up on the classes, especially if you've never played D&D. Once you like start learning a bit of the classes, that's when you'll like feel like you understand the movie a lot better. 'Cause yeah, they don't really give you much backstory in the movie. And there are tons of movies. I think there was a whole series back in like the 70s or 80s. However, I tried to play them and they weren't very good, so I was like, no. I'll just skip to the newer one. I wouldn't play Ranger. That's the only one in this lot that I wouldn't play. I'm not really like into hunting and bow and arrows and Hunger Games style characters. Not really my type. Okay, so 2000s is when you get the Barbarian, another major character in the movie. And Sorcerer is my favorite. So I think it's my favorite because of the movie too. And then Warlock. But yeah, again, sorcerers have their magic innately, kind of like in Harry Potter, where they're just born with it. Meanwhile, the Warlock had to sell, I don't know if their soul or something to get magic, or make a deal or something like that. But yeah, I think I will just drop it now. Sorcerer is my top favorite. Like, if I had to go with just one class that I liked, like out of all of them, it would be Sorcerer. How about you? What's your favorite class and why? And like, would you stick with one or would you go with a lot? Okay, so backgrounds is the third thing that you can really start to develop your character. So backgrounds is interesting. It took me a while to understand too, because I've heard of the word acolyte because of that Star Wars spin-off, The Acolyte, but I never knew what it meant. And so I Googled it. So an acolyte is someone who is kind of like devoted to a religion or a faith. So that's why they've got like the Bible Now, charlatan, I'm not entirely sure. I think that's just like a city dweller, but you know, I could be wrong. Entertainer, folk hero, and haunted one. And again, these are the only ones moving because I'm interested in the faith one, the entertainment, and the haunted one. But folk hero and charlatan don't really like say much to me. It's kind of just general and broad and kind of vague. So that's why I was like, no, not that interesting. Although I can't, now that it's like hitting me, folk hero does seem kind of cool because doesn't that imply that you're like this old like legend figure? Maybe. Alright, so all of these I really love. Noble is interesting. I mean, you get to like be this princess or whatever. Pirate is so cool. I mean, one of my favorite films, and I'm sure it is for you guys, is Pirates of the Caribbean, so heck yeah. Sage is, however, what I've chosen in my, because I did like a D&D Beyond that I'll show you guys later. So I chose Sage because Sage is different than an acolyte because it is about wisdom and learning and like dedicating yourself to knowledge and truth, but it's not tied to a faith. It's not tied to a religion. So that's why I really went with Sage. And then a spy and an urchin. Now, I don't really understand the urchin that well, but I do think it is another like city riffraff dweller kind of personality. So yeah, they're all really cool. But it is giving me ideas of like the main, you know, elements you need to narrow down character creation. And it's really like we only just went through 3 simple things. It's species, class, and background. And that already with those 3 things, and obviously a lot of this is probably copyright, but I don't think the words are copyright. So if you wanted to create your own RPG, I mean, you can put in pirate, you can put in noble, and all that. Alright, so the last thing that's a bit more complicated is abilities. So instead of chatting here, I'm gonna show you guys what I got up to. But I'll finish the video and then I'll show you guys the abilities part. Alright. I guess the first thing we're gonna look at is this starter set. What are the dice for? Okay, this isn't like incredibly fine print, so I'll make it really fast. It just says Chapter 1, How to Play. In Dungeons and Dragons, role-playing game is about storytelling in worlds of swords and sorcery. One player takes on the dungeon master. I guess if you're playing alone, like you're literally the dungeon master and the player, so here we are. The DM can improvise and be infinitely flexible. There's no winning and losing in D&D. Together, the DM and the players create a story of bold adventure. Okay. So game dice. Oh, polyhedral dice, that's what they're called. They're different dice are referred to by the letter D, followed by the number of sides. Oh, okay, I see. So, well, this is, I guess I can't count very well. I think this is, a D6 is a 6-sided die. I don't actually see like a 6. So, I feel like the numbers go way above. What the hell? Is this 4? Is this a D4? It's a triangle. Oh. I don't get it. Oh, I'm not very good with maths. Players roll dice, okay, to determine whether their attacks hit or miss, and whether their characters can scale a cliff, roll away. Okay, so that's what's up to luck, is if you survive certain scenarios. Okay, we're gonna skip that. I don't think it's like that necessary to know what the hell these dice are called. Yeah, so I have the dice again here and it's really confusing, but I think, no, I was like, I think I found the 6 finally. Is it the square? So it's the square, you guys. This is the 6. So that's throwing me off because normally you would think like the 6 is a sextagon. I might have to analyze these a lot better. No, but that makes sense though, because a square has 6 sides. Oh. Okay. So yeah, it just takes some getting used to, and obviously, like, you probably want to get dice that excites you a bit more than the starter kit. But anyway, I do have another video. It is about abilities, so I'm gonna open it now. And yeah. Okay, anyway, so 6 abilities. So you have 6 abilities. So I don't know if you can see. You have 6 abilities. Okay. So the first would be strength, measuring physical power. The second, dexterity, measuring agility. Constitution, meaning endurance. Intelligence, measuring reasoning and memory. Wisdom, and charisma. Oh, okay, so you score an ability score. What? I don't know, I think you roll the dice to figure out your 6 abilities. So yeah, for each one you roll a d20. Oh my god, which one? I think this is the d20 because it has the number 20 on it, so I know, that one was difficult. This is really getting complicated this morning. I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was gonna be a lot easier than this, but here we go. Okay, roll the dice. So roll the d20, then add the modifier of the ability score used for the roll. Okay, so once you roll, there's like a chart here that tells you the modifier amount. So if you score really low, like under 10 on this, then you have minus modifiers on your abilities, but if you score quite high, then you get like more and more modifiers, so I guess that means that increases your abilities. Oh my god, that's so confusing. Oh my god, this is so long. Okay, I could see why you need multiple people. I mean, this alone is like reading through Shakespeare. Honestly. It's even worse. It's like reading freaking Albert Einstein or Stephen Hawking. Like, what the hell? Okay, let me just tell you a bit about each 6 abilities. So, each of the abilities, so 6 abilities, has a range of capabilities. So, ability and capability right below it. I need more tea. I'm just pretending it's like a butterbeer from Harry Potter. So I guess the Dungeon Master keeps asking you about your abilities. I don't know, because you have to keep checking it. So yeah, I've got the page open. It is really complicated with the dice. This is the part I got lost. But I will show you what I've like made with the presentation anyway, and then maybe I can try to explain it through the book now. Because yeah, every ability has also capabilities. Anyway, this is what I was just running through, if you remember. Okay, strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. So, okay, everybody has everything in this. It's just what the dice, which was the d20, what this like tells you is and this is like a noob trying to explain this. Oh my god. Yeah, this is okay. This just gives you what you're gonna give more or less of. You know, like in The Sims, it's literally like in The Sims. Like you upskill, you only have a certain amount of points, so you want to upskill in certain areas depending on your character, blah blah blah. Like say you're a paladin or a fighter, you're probably gonna want high strength or dexterity. And then say you're a wizard, you're probably going to want wisdom and intelligence. And say you're a bard or a thief, you're probably going to, a rogue, you're probably going to want charisma. So I think that's how it works. But then, okay, the other thing is that there's like capabilities with each yeah, with the, so strengths, so it's like, it's like more, okay, basically strength measures your power, athletic training, blah, blah, but also your athletics, and then your dexterity is your acrobatics, sleight of hand, stealth. Intelligence is your arcana, history, investigation, nature, religion, wisdom. Randomly, it's like animal handling, insight, medicine, perception, survival. Charisma has deception, intimidation, performance, and persuasion. So I think you can even like fine tune within these abilities, if that makes sense. I know. It's a lot. Whew. Okay, I do have a few more things in terms of like the rule book that I filmed, so I'll get that up now and then we can take a look at the movie if you've seen it or not. I'm just gonna play the trailers and stuff like that. So okay, this is the story. Is combat, and they've got this image of combat. I'm not a fan of this. This is why I avoid video games too. I just hate fighting. So if I could go through a game and just avoid all fighting, that'd be perfect. So the actions in combat is you can attack, sword fighting, firing an arrow from a bow, brawling with your fists, but also spell casting. And then you can dash, which is like increase your speed. You can disengage, you can dodge, and I guess you can lend your aid or help. You can hide, you can search or use an object, melee, weapons, hit points, damage rolls, healing, dropping to 0 hit points. Okay, so what happens then? When you drop to 0 hit points, you either die outright or fall unconscious. But also that relates to like the monsters in the game too. Massive damage can kill you instantly. Okay, adventuring. So with adventure you can travel, march, high jump, long jump, climb, swim, rest, and you get rewards apparently by finding treasure. Obviously you can carry equipment, armor, shields, weapons. Oh my god, there's like a whole, I don't know if you can see, but like, I mean, we went through like the Cyberpunk stream earlier and remember there's a lot of this going on. Like for each weapon, there's just like how much it costs, the damage, the weight, properties, whatsoever. Oh my god, there's so many of these. So you can carry a holy symbol, playing cards, potion of healing, rations, rope, spellbook, thieves' tools, tinderbox, torch. Also, there's like food, drink, and lodging, so I guess it costs some money. Ale, mug, meals. I don't know if like they force you to have meals to like increase your stamina and XP, or if it's like you're just indulging in it. Okay, anyway. Spell casting is the next one. Spells are like weapons. Every spell has a level from 0 to 3. So there's like cleric spells and wizard spells apparently. Interesting. Yeah, I like spells. Oh wow, so like they tell you all of this. And so apparently it tells you how you can like make the spells. There's 3 types really. There's verbal, somatic, and material. So verbal spells require chanting of mystic words. Somatic spells include a gesticulation or gestures. And material spells, obviously you need an object. Now I'm already like thinking back to like the movie and what kind of spells they did. That makes sense. They obviously took them from these rule books. Oh my god, we're at the end. Okay. I can calm down because I was like freaking out about how many things I had to learn just to play this. Alright, so I think I have a somewhat of a grasp on the rules. Now let's go into what I'm assuming is the story. I don't know if I like make a character now or what. So So it came with these sheets, and these are your character sheets, and this is where I would need the pen to fill it out. And I'm assuming I would obviously need the dice to roll the results. But you write your character name at the top here. This one's already pre-made, so I did hear that some of them are already pre-made for you. I think in order to play, you have to make copies or something. So you have to, so this is the only one that's empty. You need a whole printer to play this game. Cause yeah, why would you want to choose like one of the pre-made? You know what, I don't need these pre-made character sheets, so I'll pick that up later. Now, okay, what I don't know about this now is, do I make my character sheet first and then open up this DM book, or what do I do? There's a map, y'all. I wanted a map and I got one. This book is written for the Dungeon Master and introduces the world of Forgotten Realms, one of the game's most enduring settings, and teaches you how to run a D&D game. Okay. The DM is a referee and a narrator, and the DM plays monsters. But the relationship with the DM and the players isn't adversarial. The DM's job is to keep the challenge interesting. Here's another map, but see, this looks more like Clue. Like you like move around to places, but again, I don't have any pieces. Here's another map. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling really confused how to play this by myself. Because there's like infinite freaking pages here for the DM. And maps. And obviously things like that. So these are the monsters. It tells you how, like, what's their classes and dexterity and abilities. The magic items, which I'm pretty sure you find these as loot, I'm assuming. Oh my god, here's a huge freaking map. Okay, so this is a cave that I'm assuming you like get into. I don't really understand how you use the maps in these games. Okay, to be honest, I don't even think I can open this and like understand what's going on. Hi guys. So I got a comment. Have you ever looked into Warhammer stuff? That's so funny. I do. So the same friend who was like taught me about D&D is obsessed with Warhammer. So they were like trying to get me to do a Warhammer stream at some point, but I'm literally overwhelmed when I tried to get it. Again, I'm not really into like fighting and combat, but I might, just to like figure out how they've done it, because it's always interesting to like see from the game developer side of things. But yeah, okay, so I have my character. Thanks for asking, by the way. Why are you into it, or is it like similar in a way, or anything like that? But okay, I have a character that I built, and I use D&D Beyond. It's obviously like the new age modern website that everyone uses. So I will show you guys that experience, and then I made like a mid-journey example of her. So yeah, the game is pretty confusing. Which one? Both of them? Your boyfriend collects minis. Oh my gosh. My boyfriend has a friend who's collects them too and like paints them and stuff. I don't understand it, but hey, to each their own. Okay, guys. So I know it's a lot of like video this, but I preferred to film it. That way I could cut out all the silence and the gaps rather than do this live. So one more video, y'all, and then we're done. So yeah, this is just me going through like, so instead of like doing it on the paper, because it really intimidated me. Again, the dice, I just don't understand. I guess you don't even need the dice, because if you're like decisive, you can just choose your species and class and all that stuff without even rolling. I think the dice is more for the abilities and more for the what happens in the game and how you survive kind of deal. But anyway, Here we are. Alright, I'm opening the last one and yep. So instead, I'm just gonna roll dice and figure out my character. I'm just gonna use ChatGPT. Okay, I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons starter set Lost Mine of Fandalvar, and I need to know how to create my character sheet. Do I just choose what race and class I want to be in, or do I roll the dice? Or so saying I can both choose or roll the dice? Okay, just pick what sounds fun, it says. Then I assign the ability scores, and then I choose a background or whatever, and I think that's like the main thing. I'm wondering that if instead I do this and like with the dice on this piece of paper and everything, if I just don't go to the old like Dungeons and Dragons website and try to do it live with you guys. So let's do that instead. I'm gonna play on D&D Beyond because it looks a lot more fun. So get started for free. I would like a standard building. I don't want it pre-made or random, so let's go. Character name, let's call her Net Void. Can I, oh, so these are like pre-made freaking images. Give me a second here. Oh my god, how many are there? None of these are good. Like, what is going on? Okay. Oh my god. Okay, choose a class. Finally. So do I want to be a barbarian, a bard, cleric, druid, fighter, monk, paladin, ranger, rogue, sorcerer, warlock, or wizard? I don't really know like what's the difference between a warlock and a wizard or a sorcerer. I know that like before I kind of maybe wanted to be a druid, but then I watched the movie and you know how she can like transform herself into animals and things like that? Yeah, I'm not about that. So I think I'm definitely a sorcerer because I liked the character in the movie. He was a sorcerer and he was pretty cool. I actually preferred him than the wizard, so let's do that. Spellcasting, magic. Oh my god. Arcane apotheosis. Bruh. Choose a sorcerer skill proficiency. What's arcana for the sorcerer class in D&D? Like, what's it mean? Okay, your knowledge about magical lore? Yeah, why not? Arcana and, I think maybe I like persuasion or insight. Too much information, right? Are you guys overwhelmed? Because I feel overwhelmed. Choose an option. So what is this? Background, origin, soldier, sage, noble, folk hero, criminal, spy, or acolyte. What the heck is an acolyte? What's an acolyte in D&D? So acolyte is you've spent your life in service to a religion or faith. So nobles, you're born into a powerful family. And sage is you dedicated yourself to study in a library, university, or with a master. So I'm gonna choose a sage. And then skill proficiency, investigation. Why not? I like investigating things. Languages, Elvish, obviously. No way! Okay, wait. First it's gonna be void speech. There's no way to have void speech. That's so cool. And then Elvish. Personality traits, choose two. See, I'm not even rolling anything. I'm literally just choosing here. I mean, I guess I could roll for like the fun of it, but like, gonna do it here. So I've read every book in the library. Yes. Two, do I get one of each, or how does this work? And then I would say there's nothing I like more than a good mystery. And what's my flaws? Okay, I'm easily distracted. That's kind of true. I speak without really using my words, insulting others. I can keep a secret to save my life. I would say I speak without thinking, using my words. Yeah. Where are these things going? Like, I don't even see where they're adding up. So my alignment, oh my god, I just realized you can't even see the drop downs. So chaotic evil, chaotic good, chaotic neutral, lawful evil. I'll say I am chaotic good. Faith. What do you mean? I'll just add it. Gnostic. Lifestyle. Wretched, squalid, poor, modest, comfortable, wealthy, or aristocratic. Aristocratic. Physical characters. Oh, so here you just literally type it? Okay. I'm gonna say I want black hair. I would like to have different colored eyes if I could, but I'll just put hazel, because I kind of do have hazel eyes. Height. Can I make it up? I'll put 6 feet. I'm obviously not, but I don't know. 110. 33. Gender, female. So I can be a black-haired elf goddess. Personality traits. Oh, that's where I was like, where do these things end up? They go on the bottom. Ideals, beauty. What is beautiful points us beyond what is true. Yes. Knowledge. The path to power and self-improvement is through knowledge. Yeah. Well, how many can I choose? Okay, so apparently you can choose infinite ideals. All right. Bonds. And then I work to preserve a library, university, scriptorium, or monastery. Sure. And I've been searching my whole life for an answer to a certain question. Amazing. Flaws is I speak without really thinking through my words invariably. Any societies, orders, or cults? Oh my god. Do I make one up? How does that work? Allies. To whom does your character associate? Well, how would I know? Backstory. Okay, these I guess are just notes if you're working with like a group. So species. Finally, I was wondering when we'd get here. I was like, I would have thought this would start at the beginning. But anyway, so here's what species. So it's either dragonborn, dwarf, elf, gnome, Goliath, halfling, human, orc, or tiefling. And then here's like the expanded ones. Variant Asimmer. What? You know what? I don't even care. I'm gonna go elf. Speed, dark vision. Oh, you have dark vision with range. Elven lineage. Oh, here we are. I was gonna say like, where's the drows? So with drow, you're able to have like a range of dark vision that's extended. Get to be or a high elf or a wood elf, but I already know I want to be a drow. They typically dwell in the Underdark and have been shaped by it. What about the high elf? I'm just curious. I don't know. See, I don't know. I'd either be a high elf or a drow. I just don't like how the drows have like a spider queen. I mean, it is very Lord of the Rings because like in Lord of the Rings, you do have the character of the spider. I will choose a drow for now. Elven lineage spells. I really like intelligence. You have advantage on saving throws. Keen senses. I want my keen sense to be, I don't know, insight. These all kind of mean the same thing to me. So I don't need to sleep and magic can't put you to sleep. And choose a generation manual rolled. Oh my god, so this is where you like actually roll, but is that how it works? See, the thing is standard rate. So well, a lot of wisdom and a lot of charisma, and then intelligence, constitution, strength, and dexterity. Okay, so this is my total scores. Oh my god, this is feeling like honestly the most complicated game I've ever played in my entire life. This was supposed to be just fun and games. I'm physically tired. This is why I think you definitely need a group, because you need somebody to hype you up to keep playing. I really don't know why there's so many boxes here. It's really stressing me out. Starting equipment, whatever. I don't care. A bottle of ink, a quill, literally what I have right now. A letter from a colleague posing a question you haven't been able to answer. check. A set of common clothes, check. A pouch containing 10 cents, love it. Sure. Add starting equipment. I don't care. Be a character sheet. Yay! Oh my god, it's done. I've got no idea how this works. Female elf sorcerer. Oh my god. What is that? What do you mean? What did I just do? Why is it rolling on screen? I don't know what it's doing. Interesting, so you can roll on screen. Wow, I could do this for days. Maps. Start your free trial. Alright. Well, anyway, I think that's it for us today. I still don't understand anything. Literally way too many factors going on. Like, look at all this. And honestly, you could spend forever on this. I think that's it, y'all. That is my first review of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm not gonna lie, if I'm gonna make a RPG, I'm gonna tone it way down. Like, make the dice a lot easier to understand. I don't think you need 6. Personally, I feel like it's too many. I feel like if I was to make an RPG, I would only put maximum 3 dice, but even then it's too confusing. Like, I think I would only just need like this dice, like the large one. But that's just me. Yeah, so simplify it. If I knew people who were into this, I think I'd manage to like work my way into being an actual fan. But as of right now, I'd rather create my own RPG game than continue with D&D. However, I think it's been an amazing learning experience, and at least I've learned from the best. Okay, so I wasn't exactly able to figure this out. I had to resort to going online on D&D Beyond and creating my character, and honestly, I don't know how to count the dice, and they're really complicated for me. However, if you're an experienced D&D group and you'd like to challenge me to actually try a full game, I'm totally down. Here's what it looks like with my hair back. Girl, I've got earrings on with my elf ears. Looks like I've pierced my elf ears. Thanks so much for joining, AV. So yeah, that's my review of D&D. Obviously, I'm not a fan right away, but hey, I learned a lot. So yeah, that video that you just seen, actually I have her here. I can pull her up. So I made her based off a photo of myself on Midjourney, and I was like, yeah, this is my D&D character. Like, she's an elf, she's a sorcerer, that's why you get some like magic spell coming out, and also she's a sage, so she's like dedicated to a library and whatever. So this is what I came up with. Pretty good. Like, it took the same crown and like the hair and everything, and I'm like, all right. I do have more characters. I'll show you them in a second. How about now, actually? I'll just put them on screen. So, one second. Let me hide my sorcerer. And so I created basically these 3. The sorcerer is one you've seen. The paladin interested me because, I don't know, I do like the aesthetics of, of like carrying a sword and armor, probably because of Grimes, and then a bard, of course, because I am a struggling musician. But yeah, these are the top 3 classes that I chose or I would play. How about you all? But yeah, I really recommend making your character come to life through AI, if not Midjourney. There's so many more you could try out. Some really cool options. Okay, so I have a little bit left of my presentation. It's not much. It's just going through the movie. So yeah, now we're going through and seeing how they did it in the movie in terms of like bringing the species, characters, and backgrounds to life, which is like the main thing you want to see as a fan. So Honor Among Thieves is the name of the film. You've probably already seen it. It came out when, like 2000. When did it come out? 2020? Oh god, I don't know. Maybe a bit earlier than that. So I've broken down the main characters and I'm giving them their title. So obviously we've got the main character. He is a very famous actor. I'm blanking right now, but he's in Guardians of the Galaxy, is it, or something? Yeah, he's a bard. And the first time I watched it, I did not like realize that he was a bard because he only uses his guitar, or sorry, whatever it is. It's like a ancient lute or something. He only uses that a few times. So if you're not like really like trying to figure it out, you probably it'll just like not pick up. But beyond that, he is a human and he is a thief. Sorry, he's not a rogue, but his backstory is that he is, I don't know, his backstory is what? He's an urchin or something like that. I could probably get this up on ChatGPT. But anyway, so the next character is his love interest, I guess. And she's a human, but she's a barbarian. Obviously really tough, likes to fight with all sorts of weapons. Then there's this other guy that's kind of like their friend and ally, and he's a paladin. So he's obviously always fighting with a sword. And then my favorite character was, and probably everyone's favorite character, because he's like the comedic element here. But yeah, he's the sorcerer, and he's half elf. And I think, gosh, I don't actually know his background either. And then she's a tiefling. Okay, I had to Google that because right away you don't really see, like, you kind of think she's an elf or a half elf or a human, but she's actually the tiefling, the ones with the horns. And I had the image earlier of the tieflings, and I like Midjourney made them like look satanic, like red skin and stuff. So it threw me off that in the movie they didn't make the tiefling like red skinned or whatever, like she just looks normal. So I don't know how like lore accurate that ended up being. But anyways, she's a tiefling with druid powers. She transforms into like a giant lion bear thing, but also like a bunch of insects. That's what like threw me off, is like I would not want to be an insect. But yeah, she does that quite often actually for plot armor to save the day. But let me actually ask really quick. List all the Dungeons and Dragons movie characters and their backgrounds, like according to the game board logic, because I already know their race and classes. Let's see if it comes it up really quick. Chris Pratt, yeah, thank you. Sam's son. That's right? That's got to be it. Okay, so what? So apparently he was, wait, I'll just pause it really quick. Apparently, is that right? He was a noble? He used to be a noble in his background? A former noble turned charming, I don't know, charming bard? I don't really know if that's right. Oh, obviously this is ChatGPT, so it could be wrong. Okay, so she's barbarian and her background was exiled tribal warrior. Okay. The half elf Simon, was his background is, what the heck is his back? Descendant of the legendary, so maybe like a folk hero, because he's descendant of like a legendary figure. And then the druid, her background is that she's, I don't know, got distrust. Oh my god. Do it in a chart and give me the official titles from the game board. Don't give me like a huge paragraph. It's like, it's paraphrasing and I'm like, I want the actual word. So the background. What? Harper is a background? So he's a Harper. She's a tribe member. He's a noble. Okay, he's a noble because of his family heritage. Okay, that makes sense. The druid is an outlander. Outlander, that means obviously she has a distrust, like an exile or whatever. Oh, okay, so he's an acolyte. Okay, he's an acolyte, which again, an acolyte is someone with faith or religion involved. And, okay, I think that's mainly it. Okay, so in terms of the bad guys, there's only 2 main ones. I did include them. And hopefully these aren't spoilers, because it's been out for a while. But in case you haven't seen it and you don't want to watch, this might be a spoiler. But yeah, the bad guys. So we've got him, who's a thief or rogue. And then she's obviously the Red Wizard. And so them two. And I think it tells me here their backgrounds too, actually. It just says hers is being a wizard and his is a charlatan noble. So yeah, those are how the movie got to it. Obviously they did a good job of like the variety and comedic element, but again, I feel like for the uninitiated it is really difficult, and I wish they had like a bit more backstory to like ease us into the franchise or whatever. I wanted to look at the actual trailer really quick before we log off, because it's been a while. I actually did rewatch it recently, but I'm not actually seeing the trailer again, so.
Here's the thing. We're a team of thieves. And when you do this, you're bound to make enemies. Sometimes those enemies come looking for revenge. Truth be told, we helped the wrong person steal the wrong thing. We didn't mean to unleash the greatest evil the world has ever known. But we're gonna fix it.
So how do we pull that off? Figure it out over a drink?
Okay, yeah. So, again, did you guys know when you first watched this that he was a bard? He literally sings in his classes, his sing music, and she's a barbarian. Because I didn't clock that whatsoever.
For a drink?
Probably best.
You need to.
Oh, but there he was with his instrument, I guess.
To give us a fighting chance, we're gonna need strength. You got this, right?
I know you don't.
Barbarian classic.
We also need courage.
So he's the paladin, acolyte.
Need courage.
Nice
Magic.
one. And then he's obviously the best one, the sorcerer.
And you.
And the tiefling. Again, I don't really understand her character. I think
And you.
just very forgettable character. I feel like if you're gonna do a tiefling, she should have a bit more edge, like the class requires, if that makes sense. I don't know, she just seemed more druid than tiefling. Like her class outweighed her species, if that makes sense. I feel like they should have done a better job of combining it a bit. I think this is the monster that she's
What is that again?
So Swamps of Sadness says, I never played D&D, but I have made a bard character years ago. I don't remember what she looked like years ago. Did you make it on D&D Beyond? Are there any other sites like that? Because that's the only one I know of. I'm sure there's more. But also, isn't it a thing to like get your friend to draw your character kind of thing? Like that's part of your initiation into D&D is like have somebody draw your character. So did you ever get like a drawing? But anyway, okay, we have the 3 main characters here. Human, barbarian, half-elf, sorcerer, human, bard.
Now there. You won't. There's evil here.
I'm glad he's on our side.
This one's dangerous. But whatever happens, we'll be ready.
That's epic. I mean, obviously you gotta include dragons in D&D, so I don't know. Did they do a good job of including them? Maybe there could have been more, but there's definitely dungeons and definitely dragons, so well done there. Psalm says that you do draw. Oh, heck yeah, that's awesome. You had a Kindle tablet with a few apps for D&D drawing. No way, really? Oh my god. That's awesome. Very cool. I would love to see some drawings sometimes. And how do you feel about AI? Like as a like draw as an artist yourself, how do you feel about AI? Because I'll only say like I'm not an artist, I can't draw anything, so it does help me, but I do wonder for like people who do draw and stuff, how you guys feel about it. I really enjoyed this film. I think it was funny.
Exactly that you bring to this.
I'm a planner. I make plans.
You've already made the plan, so
If the existing plan fails, I make a new plan.
you make plans that fail.
No,
He also plays the lute.
not relevant.
Oh, 2023? That only came out 2 years ago? Guys, that felt like it was ages ago. What? Oh my god, what? Time flies. That's absolute madness. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to check in with y'all today is actually a game that AV mentioned, so they're in the chat now. It's this game, Baldur's Gate 3. And the reason like we wanted to talk about it is because so yeah, apparently you can choose like the same species and classes in Dungeons and Dragons in this game. So that's freaking cool. You pick your class right at the beginning and everything. So I think I had somebody who did like a ton of examples. I'll play this one.
Hello and welcome back to another character creation video. My name's Lumin and today, well, today's...
Alright, probably too much to talk to. So we'll just look at it. So where does it go? Where does it go from? Oh, let me put the music back on too. Okay, so from what I can see, I was about to download this game, y'all, but I'm not a gamer. I don't really like gaming, and anytime I've downloaded a game just to do the character customization, I never play it again. So I was like, there's literally no point for you guys to watch me do it. So why don't we just look at some of the other people doing it? So I don't oh, there it is. Okay. So right away, you get the option from D&D, and it's so well rendered. Like, it looks so legit. So elf, tiefling, drow, sorry, human. What is that? Githyanki, is that a D&D one, or did they make this one up? Dwarf, half-elf, halfling, gnome, dragonborn. There's that weird reptilian race, and half-orc. So cool. Let me ask why that was that, because I forgot to ask. why does D&D... Oh my god, have you guys tried the speak to the AI thing? I'll just try it now. It's so creepy how, like, conversational it is. And let me put this on 4 times speed. I can't believe there's 4 times speed. Do you guys realize that? Like, there used to only be 2, and now it's freaking 4. That's insane. By the time we're, like, done with the year, it's gonna be, like, 8 times speed. Like... okay. Let's see if it'll do it. Okay, hi. Hi.
Hey there. Hi again. If there's anything else you need, or if you want to dive into more details.
Okay. Hi. So why is D&D, like, races allowed in Baldur's Gate 3? Is it like a cross collab or something?
That's a great question. Baldur's Gate 3 is actually set in the Dungeons & Dragons universe, specifically in the Forgotten Realms, which is a major campaign setting in D&D. So the races and classes in the game are basically straight from the D&D rulebooks. It's not exactly a cross-collab, but more of a faithful adaptation, which is pretty cool.
Wait, so are you telling me that D&D is fair use?
In a sense, yes. D&D is a property of Wizards of the Coast, and Baldur's Gate 3 is licensed to use that intellectual property. So it's not exactly fair use in the legal sense, but it is an official adaptation. It means that the races, classes, and lore are all part of the same shared universe, which is pretty neat.
Oh, so they paid... Okay, so Baldur's Gate 3 paid for the rights to use the D&D characters?
Exactly. Larian Studios, the developers of Baldur's Gate 3, secured the rights from Wizards of the Coast to use the D&D universe, including its races, classes, and more. So it's all officially licensed and pretty seamless.
How much do you think they paid for that right?
It's hard to say exactly because the terms of those deals are usually kept private, but it's definitely a significant amount. Given the popularity and the IP's value, it could range from several $1 million to even more, depending on the scope and duration of the license. It's definitely a worthwhile investment considering how successful the game has been.
Okay, my question is, if you're an indie creator and you want to create an RPG, how much of, like, D&D are you able to, like, copy? Because obviously they've not copyrighted the terms human, wizard, elf, half-elf, right? Like, those are just general terms that anybody can use. So how free are you to kind of use those elements from D&D into your own story, RPG, game, build, whatever?
You're absolutely right that the basic concepts like elves, dwarves, humans, and wizards are considered common fantasy tropes and aren't copyrighted. You can definitely use those in your own creations. However, the specific mechanics, the unique classes, and the lore that's unique to D&D are protected. So as an indie creator, you can absolutely draw inspiration from D&D, but you'd want to create your own unique... Exactly. It's all about putting your own creative twist on those familiar elements and making something fresh and original. So you've got a lot of freedom to play with if you ever decide to dive into that. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Why 6 dice? Like, what is it possible to do an RPG with only 1 dice?
The use of 6-sided dice or D6 in RPGs is pretty common because they're simple, widely available, and easy to understand.
No, they're not. They're not simple, easy to understand, or widely available. It's the most complicated thing I've ever been through.
I totally get that. Dice mechanics can definitely feel a bit overwhelming at first, especially when you have multiple types of dice. But once you get the hang of it, it can become second nature. And you're absolutely right that you can run an RPG with just 1 type of die, like a single D6, and simplify things a lot. Can definitely make it a bit more approachable.
Okay, thank you. I don't know why I said thank you. It's an AI bot. Okay, AV was like, it's all D&D, very faithful to the source, and Zoomer's gonna zoom. It's insane how you can, like, get the detail of the makeup, the hair looks legit. Like, it's so cool. Like, probably one of the best, if not the best that I've seen personally, but I don't play that many games. But I think the problem with me, it's like, okay, you spend all this time customizing your character in a video game, and then like towards the end, all you see is like it's either you either see the back of your character the entire time, or you see like a really eagle's eye high up view of your character. So it's like, what are the details even for? I mean, it's nice when games do include like your character in a cutscene. That's probably like the main exciting part, but other than that, I'm really not like into, again, combat and all that stuff. Oh, there's a tiefling. Oh my god, those horns are insane. The makeup is so cool. In Baldur's Gate 3, your character is constantly in conversation, so you get a lot of screen time. Okay, that's cool. That's good to know. I do wonder if I should get some gameplay up really quick. I think I have it under here. So after she made her character, and playback speed 4. This kind of looks like a character I would make too, so that's we're on track here. It's giving Cthulhu vibes too, like what? Like, what is the premise of Baldur? Let me ask that, because, like, what's the premise of Baldur's Gate 3, and, like, what mythology is it based off?
Baldur's Gate 3 is set in the Dungeons & Dragons universe, specifically the Forgotten Realms, which is a rich fantasy setting. And the premise revolves around the player character and their companions being infected by a mind flayer parasite, which threatens to turn them into mind flayers themselves. The game combines epic storytelling with tactical combat, and a lot of choices that shake the world. The mythology is deeply rooted in D&D lore, with influences from various fantasy traditions, including classic European mythology, as well as unique elements like the magic and the deities of the Forgotten Realms.
What's Forgotten Realms really about? Because I don't actually know.
The Forgotten Realms is one of the most popular settings in Dungeons & Dragons. It's essentially a high fantasy world full of diverse cultures, powerful magic, ancient ruins, and a rich pantheon of gods. It's known for its epic stories involving heroes, villains, and everything in between. Key locations include cities like Waterdeep and Baldur's Gate, and it's got...
Oh! Baldur's Gate is a city in freaking Forgotten Realms Dungeons & Dragons. So this is literally like a D&D game.
Exactly. Baldur's Gate is a major city in the Forgotten Realms, and the game is essentially a digital extension of that universe. It's got all the familiar elements of D&D, like the races, classes, and magic, but art to life in a video game format. It's a fantastic way to experience the D&D world if you can't get a tabletop group together.
That's actually really awesome. See, I thought it was like a different company that was like, I don't know, paying for certain elements, but I didn't realize like the entire name, like Baldur's Gate, was actually a city in the D&D lore. That's so cool.
Yeah, it really is cool how they've integrated it all. The game basically brings that entire world to your screen and lets you explore it in a really
Sorry, I'm just laughing because you're like my AI friend. Anyway, so, okay, I'm done with you. Yeah, that's actually really cool. Like, I wish I had spent a bit more time looking into this, because I might have actually downloaded the game. But it does seem like you have to go through a lot to actually get anywhere. But wow, I see what you mean, AV, because like you can really zoom in on your character really close, and the maneuvers is not like, it feels like in Destiny, for example. What is she doing? Oh my god. That character is really familiar. I feel like, is that like a What's the name for non-NPC? Is that an NPC? A Baldur's Gate NPC. Oh my god, this is like very satanic though. What is going on? Oh my god! It might be too scary for me. That's another thing. Is it open world? Like, you can actually log in with friends and stuff? Wow. Again, it's just nice to see somebody else play it. But yeah, that's it for y'all today. I'm so glad I figured out what Baldur's Gate really is. That was like weighing on my mind. But yeah, as far as the next stream, I'm switching things up. I thought I was going to do like Alien, because the new Alien TV show is coming up. I've actually seen the first few episodes. I don't know about you all if you're watching it, or we'll wait until it's all out. It's only like got 4 episodes out right now, or 5, and it's alright. But it wasn't what I was expecting. So instead of covering Alien vs. Predator, which I will in the future, I'm going to cover K-pop Demon Hunters because I watched it last night and I was like brought to tears. I literally cried. It was such a good movie and it's so relevant to my my novel series. So I was like, okay, I will do that next month. So yeah, if you haven't already, try and go watch K-pop Demon Hunters for our next stream so we can be all caught up. But yeah, that's my Dungeons and Dragons stream. There's like loads of these obviously, but yeah, I was recommending this one, so if you're new to D&D and you want one that was recommended by a player that has been playing for a long time, they recommended this one, so if that helps. And again, yeah, try it with your friends. It's probably better that way than going at it alone for your first time. You guys saw how tired I was after trying to read the rule book. But yeah, oh my gosh, it's been fun. I liked cosplaying an elf. I might bring her back on stream sometime. This character, again, this character, she's so cool. I love her. I love the dress that it made me. But yeah, thanks Avi, thanks Swamps, and thank you Lynn for joining me live, and I'll see you guys next month. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and go watch Alien and go watch K-pop Demon Hunters. See y'all next time. Peace.